Hi, it's Jane, and I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. Um, got a little bit of a cold going on. I knew it would happen because, all the little kids get it. Bring it home from school and bring it everywhere they're at. So it's one of those that it's just hanging on. I have a little bit of iced coffee today. It's not really cold here, but I would just do the iced coffee just because I like iced coffee. Let's see, where am I at? Yep, I'm on a knit row. So I'm going to knit while we sit and chat. Did you guys watch the interview with Harris and Brett Baer? She seemed a little unhinged there. And I do find it disrespectful that she showed up 15 minutes late for the interview. I mean, surely she could have let them know what was going on, why she was running late. Although I think her team probably did it on purpose. I've heard that seems to be the standard for a lot of the interviews that she does. She shows up late for them. And like I said, I just find that disrespectful, that she's late. She's the one that set the time for the interview. And what was she yelling about? I wish she'd realize we know that she's not Trump. So stop trying to badmouth Trump, tear him down. And that's exactly what you're doing, lady. Tearing him down. You can't be telling yourself, you can't be saying that we uplift people when you're ripping someone else down. I don't want to hear you do that. I want to hear you tell me what your plan is. Because I've gone to the website, and from the sounds of it, they're going to give black men who have business $20,000. I don't think that's illegal. I think that goes against all legalities. That's discrimination. And then, of course, they're only going to give you $50,000 for a business if you meet certain criteria. $25,000 for a home is only if you and none of your family members have ever owned a home. So come on, folks. And I think it's disingenuous. She keeps talking about the border bill that they had when they first went into office. Because if you go look up the bill, it was not a border bill. It was an amnesty bill. And quite frankly, Democrats held the White House, the Senate, and the House. They could have passed it if they wanted to, but they never even brought it to the floor. They also, all those years before, could have codified Roe versus Wade so that it wouldn't have gone back to the states, but they didn't do that either, any of the times that they were in control. So those things are only important when it's an election year, apparently, because after that, it's all forgotten. And that's something that just irritates me about a lot of politicians. My dad used to say, if a politician's talking, it's a lie coming out their mouth. I don't know if I believe that wholly, but I'm beginning to believe it. So, Miss Harris, you want to turn the page? You want to be the party of change? In your party, then tell us how you're going to change things. Straight and simple. Quit trying to rip the other opponent. Just tell us what you're doing. I think if you would actually do that, instead of all the bad mouthing, whatnot, you'd be a whole lot higher in the polls, and you might be able to turn a lot of people who are now looking at Trump towards you. But, yeah, it's kind of sad. My Bible study group this morning was really nice. We always do a meal. Someone brings a side, and then someone always brings dessert, and someone brings the main meal. And the person that brought the main meal brought chicken noodle soup, homemade chicken noodle soup, and also a homemade beef stew. So you had a little bit of a choice. Which, quite honestly, because there's so many of us, there are, I think, 28 people in this Bible study. So, it's a big Bible study. It's a great Bible study. And it's just fun, you know, to get to talk with each other all the time and share a meal with people, especially these people. They're good people. And someone in the group had made pumpkin truffles. They were good. She did a good job with them. Well, they replaced some pipes out here, put in a main manhole over there. Of course, the problem that I had with them doing it, they had all their heavy equipment parked in my yard, and they had the crane sitting on my drain. So I don't know if it damaged it or not. I mean, it's too heavy to be sitting on that. So I'm going to have to go out there and see if they did damage it. I haven't been out there yet. I guess part of me just doesn't want to see it, you know, if it is damaged. And of course, they didn't give us any notice that they were going to do that. And where I live, there is no outlet. I mean, there's one way in and one way out. And they blocked the one way in and out for most of the day doing that. And of course, you know, it gave the cats something to watch. So they did enjoy that, getting to watch it. They were like two peas in a pod in that window watching, having a good old time. Had a bear come down last night. And that was kind of odd to see the bear in the back. There on that back patio, or side patio, I guess. Because I've never seen the bear this far down. Generally, I've seen him when I've gone up further, towards one of my neighbor's house. I'll see the bear then, but I've never seen him down here where I live. So I got to see the bear. I say him, it may be a female, I don't know. But we're still doing a little bit of foraging. And I'm sure the reason that I saw the bear was I had some cat food that the cats won't eat. And the deer will. So I've been putting it out there for the deer. And apparently the bear likes cat food too. So it's dry cat food. So he came down and had a couple of munchies. Of course, that totally freaked the cats out. They were running back and forth, getting freaked out. I'm assuming because it's something big that they've never seen, and because it's such a dark shadow. Wasn't a black bear, but it was pretty dark. And it was getting dark when they saw the bear, so. It was cute. Getting to see him act that way. And of course they were kind of puffing up a little bit. I guess they were trying to protect the house. I don't know why. It's only the two of them. It's not like they could do that. Still can't get that stupid Roomba to come online. That just ticks me off no end. Spend all that money and it's a waste of money. Alright, what did I do there? Looks like I skipped some stitches. There's no way I skipped stitches, did I? Huh. I don't know, folks. Looks funky. I may have to rip that portion out and bring it back up to the same level as the other. In fact, I'm going to look and see. Look at that a little bit closer. They're just big stitches. Big loose stitches. Oh well. Maybe a little workout in the in the blocking process. We'll see. We'll see, won't we? If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And this is such a big, these are size 11 needles for this worsted weight anyway. It's supposed to be loosey-goosey, kinda, so. It definitely is this time, isn't it? I've been trying to catch up on folks, seeing what they're doing, everyone around. Sometimes I can get caught up and sometimes I can't. Watched the Boggy Creek this morning. Watched the replay of it to see all those blankets. And I thought it was kind of funny. Nancy was worried because they were going to stop at an hour and a half. That's plenty long enough. You know, she needs to remember to take a little bit better care of herself. So, because she gave us quite a scare with that art deck a couple years ago. So she needs to stop and realize we're okay if it's only an hour and a half. With such beautiful blankets. Oh my goodness. You guys, I don't know which is my favorite because they were all fantastic. Although the one that had the Barbie doll cut out part I thought was really cute. Did a great job with that blanket. And of course, the one that was all hearts was wonderful too. They were all beautiful. I love watching those things, seeing them. seeing all the work that you guys are sending in, or some of you are sending in. And those of you that are not able to send it in, if you live in any of the neighboring communities, North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia, all of those places, there's going to be a great need for quite a bit of things. Although I think Samaritan's Purse has been inundated with all kinds of blankets and things. So right now they've got a hold on accepting any more, which is, personally, I think it's a great thing. And I'm sure a lot of that is the logistics of getting it, to the supply place to get it out there. And they're still heavy in the recovery phase still. Search and recovery. And I think it's a great thing that a lot of people have stepped up to go out there and help. And all those pilots are going in to do searches and drop off supplies and things at their own cost. That's a beautiful thing. So the only thing that I have a problem is with FEMA. You have to be on their list to do that kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't. These are my people. These are my neighbors. I don't understand why FEMA doesn't understand that. There's this mentality with FEMA that they don't understand Good Old Boy Network and the let's get it done, that kind of thing. These are people who've been strong, very strong. So sometimes FEMA, you need to get out of the way and let these people take care of themselves. You can help. You can send some aid. But sometimes you need to bow out and let them do what they need to do, take care of one another. It's kind of what America was founded on. Always working together to take care of one another. Don't always see that these days because we've become so, shall I say, selfish. But some of the stories we get to hear out of there, absolutely stunning stories. Of course, there was the one story of found the fella waist deep in mud, and they were gonna, they're trying to talk him into calming down while they dig him out, and he said, no, don't bother. Just leave me, let me die. They said, no, not gonna do that. He said, no, I want you to do that because my family's gone. I watched them disappear. And he said, well, your family might have been rescued down the river a little bit farther. You never know. He said, no, I do know. Because they're all underneath me. They stopped scratching at my leg a couple of days ago. Do I know that that's a true story? No. But it's a great symbol for some of the things that these people are going through. So there are a lot of also animal rescues that have been happening. I do know that there have been some farmers farther down in North Carolina that have been trying to make sure that they give feed to some of these places that need feed. The only problem is we have no idea what it's done to the agriculture that's in that area. And trust me, it's a big agriculture area. So we may be seeing a lot of repercussions for the next year or so from it. But, like I said, they're pretty strong, resilient people. They'll do what they need to do to get back on their feet. And of course, you don't think in the mountain areas that you would ever see that kind of flooding. I mean, that's unheard of, as high up as they are. So they just never dreamed they would experience that. And of course, like a lot of places, you get the call to evacuate way too late. You know, I think there was one woman that said she didn't get the notice on her phone to evacuate until she made it down to where she had some communication with the Starlink, and then her phone got the notice to evacuate. And I think that was 4 or 5 days after the hurricane. So, kind of interesting. So those of you that are in the hurricane system, you know, in that area, kudos to you for being such a strong, resilient people. Keeping after it, man. I don't know if I would. I think I might bow out pretty quickly. You know? Haven't gotten to the heavy part of the coffin yet. I know that's going to be coming. That'll be coming in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure. That's always a blast and a half. So, what are you working on this week? Have you been pulling out any of your other previous projects to get them worked on, to get them done? I hope you have been. I hope this gives you a little bit of opportunity to sit down and to work on those things. So, let me pause this before we totally run out of video camera time. Camera has automatic shut off. So, let me get back to you in just a second. Okay, we're back. We're back in business. Did you guys see the comet the other day? I had one of my friends. They had gone outside and posted pictures of the comet. I didn't realize there was a comet, so I didn't step outside to look and see. But they live a little bit further west of me. So I'm sure that they had a better look. I've been busy sewing too a little bit here and there. I think I told you I have the craft fair coming up. I'm making some small coin purses to be sold. Not really working on a whole lot of things. The only other thing I've been doing is making doing these pot holder things that you take the pot holder and you make pockets so that you can put your hand in it to handle the handle sides a little bit easier, and they're also a little bit more kid friendly, so kids can use them a little bit easier. Because regular pot holders, kids don't really know how to use those, so I'm making a couple of those just to see if they go well this time around. I don't know that they will, but give it a shot. You never know. Worst that'll happen is I take my stuff and nothing happens, right? I do have a different book Bible purse. These are still basically the same thing. The only thing is the pocket. It has a zipper along the side of it so that you can slip your phone down into it a little bit easier. And then on the front it has two pockets. One that's divided so you can put your pencils and markers in it if you use highlighters, those kind of things. And then another slip pocket in the front. So I did make a little bit of adjustment difference in the way that I was making those, just to give it a shot to see how those go out. This is the fourth round of Bible purses that I have made. I call them Bible purses, but they're really just a bookmarker pouch that you can slip over the cover of your Bible. You could use it as a bookmark, and then you could also use it, as one lady said, the Bible purse where you can put your tissues, your driver's license, stuff like that in, so you didn't have to carry a purse to church. So, and I know there are a lot of women that bring purses to church. Generally, the only thing I carry is a bag that has my Bible and whatever books if we have a book that we're using for Sunday school, then I will bring that in it. Worked on making a couple of envelope pillows that basically just have a Christmas scene on them, like a deer or ornaments or snowflakes, that kind of thing, that's embroidered on it with some fancy silver and gold threads. And the envelope can be slipped over I want to say a 14 by 14 inch. For some reason, that's what's coming to mind. Used to be you could get 12 by 12 inch. I think now it's 14 by 14 pillow forms that you get at the store. So, you got to make them whatever size the pillow form is. So, made a couple of those. Just a couple odds and ends here and there. Just to see how they do. I've had quite a bit of requests lately for towel toppers, and the towel toppers that I make are just so you can actually pin it over a counter or over a knob, basically a doorknob, whatever, or a pull handle, so that you can slip it over and you can slip your towel into it. It doesn't include the towel. It's just a small piece of crocheted fabric that you can actually do that with if you choose to. I don't know if I'm going to do those or not, or if I'm actually going to make some that are hand sewn out of some of the scraps so that you can basically do the same thing. Still trying to decide how I want to do that. That's always been a lot of fun. Doing all that kind of stuff. And just when you think, there's an old adage with a lot of people that sew, do embroidery work and stuff like that is, don't let the machine know that you're in a hurry, because all kinds of problems will crop up. And yes, they do. You would not believe the amount of problems that crop up. Tons of them. And it's always rather annoying to see that happen. Do need to get the jar cozies out. I was going to take those up there too. We'll see. Who knows? Haven't determined exactly what I'm taking up for the craft fair. And of course, here in our neck of the woods, our weather has been up and down, up and down. Had to have the heat on. And really detested having to turn the heat on. And then, of course, today it's nice and toasty, so had to turn the heat off. It's the only thing I don't like about October. It seems like you never can pin it down. Of course, by November, pretty much you've got the heat on all the time. And I've been trying a couple of different teas. I had one last night. Sorry about that. That was pumpkin chai. That was really good. Pumpkin spice chai. That was really good. I enjoyed that tea last night. I had one that was it's a green tea with mango. And that was a little bit different. Did enjoy it as well. One of the other ones that I got was, I got a Christmas one that's sugar cookie. I've never tried the sugar cookie one. This is with the grocery store Wegmans. And that is a grocery store on the eastern area. Probably kind of like sort of like Harris Teeter. Of course, I don't know if North Carolina still has Harris Teeter or not. I think they sold out to Kroger. I don't remember. But it's a I don't want to say it's an upscale grocery store, but it kind of is. There's kind of a lot of hoity-toity people that go shop in there. It's always extremely clean. And I don't mean, to dish on a lot of grocery stores, but sometimes they kind of get a very worn, ratty look to them. And the Wegmans stores that I've been into, they do a lot of things with the lighting to highlight things. Like in the meat department, lights all around you are kind of soft, but then you can see the meat real well, that kind of thing. They do have a butcher block where you can actually purchase steaks, roast, those kind of things. Have them cut the size you want, or you see a piece and you want it and they'll bag it up for you. So, yeah, it's kind of like I used to always call it the uppity store when Thomas and I would go there. Of course, most of the time when we were going there, we were going to the one in State College. And I think I told you guys about this a long time ago. Thomas was up there and he was, they were getting ready to put the blueberries out. And Thomas reached over into the carton because he saw a pack of blueberries, that he thought looked pretty good. So he went to grab them. And the person that was handling it said, "Oh no, those are for Joe Pa." And he said, "What?" He said, "These are all for Joe Pa." And Thomas made a comment. He said, "Then why'd you bring them out to the floor?" Because they were known to take them over, deliver them personally to him and his wife when he was alive. So, that kind of left a bitter taste in Thomas's mouth. He's like, he's not any better than us. Like, well, he's Joe Pa. He can't go grocery shopping. His wife can't go grocery shopping with the rest of us. We're peons. So, we used to kind of laugh about that. But, so from then on, we kind of called it the uppity store. Our favorite grocery store was Giant. Just because we liked the people that were the cashiers. We got to know a couple of the cashiers really well. Suki was one of our favorites. She used to, it always amazed her because we would bring in our grocery bags and she'd say, "Your grocery bags are so nice and clean." And I'd laugh and I'd say, "Why, Suki? Doesn't everybody wash their grocery bags in between uses?" She goes, "Nope, you would not believe some of the things that falls out of these things when we have to open them up to put the groceries in." She said, "It's kind of gross." And I was like, "Oh yeah, well, I kind of can't stand the thought of, maybe some blood dripped out of a package onto the bag. They're cloth bags because I carry cloth bags with me." And I said, "I can stand the thought of that and it's starting to smell or stink, and the bacteria grow on it. Having been a nurse, I know how that works. So the minute the groceries get home and they're out of the bags, they go into whatever bin to be washed." So, yeah, we used to have a good time laughing about that. And Suki she would always make sure we knew about the specials. If there was something that she thought that we liked a lot of, because she got to know you as a customer. She knew what you normally bought because normally week to week we would buy basically the same things.
Unknown caller.
Sorry about that. The only time that we didn't was when we decided to try something different, like we decided to try jackfruit or something like that wasn't a normal thing that would be in our grocery basket. We used to try the different apples, different flavors of the apples each week. Although there was Honey Crisp, I would always get Honey Crisp, and we would also get another kind of apple. Honey Crisp is my favorite, so that was a given. We were going to get those. And lots of times we would get when they had the meats and things on sale, because sometimes they had some great sales. We would get those meats and get them on sale so I could break them up into smaller packages. And I still do a lot of that. It's just a much smaller package now. Because Thomas could eat 2 servings of everything. at his one sitting. So I was basically cooking for 4, you know. And then I would have a serving left over for lunch during the week. Normally he would come home and he would have some kind of, his favorite thing was pad thai noodles, and he would get that and he would add vegetables and different things to it. So that was something that he liked to do. I wasn't a big fan of the pad thai. It's okay, but no big deal for me. But that was something that he liked to do for lunch. Dead battery. And usually he would finish it off with like yogurt. So he was good to go with that. So generally I would send over something for him for a afternoon snack, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of how we did all the time. And he didn't really like leftovers unless it was lasagna or meatloaf. Those were the only leftovers he ever wanted. So, or spaghetti. He did like spaghetti leftover. Of course, the way that I would do the spaghetti was I would normally put it in a casserole dish, add a little more sauce to it, add some more cheese on top, bake it so that the cheese would melt through it. And, that was something that he liked all the time. I haven't made spaghetti in the longest time. But I'm also the type of person, I don't know how to make just a small batch of spaghetti. I usually make a huge batch of spaghetti. So maybe that's the reason I haven't made spaghetti. I haven't figured out how to make a smaller package of the spaghetti. That's probably what it is. Oh well. Well, I think I have talked long enough. My voice is starting to get a little hoarser. And so I'm going to let you go. And I will see you again in another day. Everybody have a great week. See you soon.